Welcome to Writing Wednesday, and today we're going to talk about how to be a writer. We've covered the am I a writer and should I be a writer. So now here's how to be a writer. We have 10 ways that we're going to go over today, and you guys can leave any extras in the comments if I miss some. Number one, of course, as been obvious in this whole series, is write. You must write to be a writer. If you write, you are a writer. That doesn't make you an author. You're not an author until you're published. That's why I call myself a writer. I'm not yet an author. So number two, you need to take in stories. Movies, books, comic books, games. A lot of people love to game. You have to take those in order to get stories out. That's part of that. Number three, explore, travel, live. You have to live a life in order to have something to write about. A lot of writers want to hermit themselves up and keep to themselves a lot, and they don't live. Now, I did a lot of stupid stuff as a teenager, which is what I can draw on. I can draw on a lot of that stuff. So I've kind of done a lot that's given me a lot of ideas. But that still doesn't stop me from going out with my travel buddy, Christy. Me and her go out, and we travel, even sometimes just for a weekend trip. It's just somewhere that we can go and have fun. And I still do things like that. If I'm invited to the fair once a year with my friends, I'll go. But it's mostly about keeping that creative willful and about getting out of the house, because I also do a series called Self-Care Sundays. And you need to get out of the house. Even if it's just every once in a while, try to get out of the house every once in a while. It's just good for you. Okay? Number four, question everything. If you want to be a writer, question everything. And this is how you do it. You question the status quo, like I said before. You don't accept something as fact just because someone says so. For example, one of the main things that I have had a lot of trouble with in my life is that there's people who walk up and they are my boss. Legally, financially, they are my boss. But that does not mean I automatically respect them. That's earned. Where I come from. That you earn your respect. That's not given. And a lot of people mistake a job description for respect. And that's not the way it works with me. You will earn your respect. I don't care how long you've been there. I don't care about your education level. Respect is earned. So questioning things like that is a good way on how to be a writer. You have to be able to question things to get ideas, to form what you consider to be better ideas and form them in a way of a story, and then it comes across to the reader. And that's how you implant ideas into other people's heads, and that makes the story stick with them longer. That's why some stories stay with people longer than others, because that they got that across. They prove something to the reader. So there's that one. Number five, enjoy being alone. This is a very solitary profession, or even hobby, because I work full time, so this is my side hustle, sort of. You need to enjoy being by yourself, and I prefer to be by myself. I've been that way since I was a teenager. I just prefer to be alone. I'm very introverted. And so if you don't like being alone, maybe working in coffee shops may be more your jam because you're around a lot of people. Or maybe join writing groups. Now, I live in a rural area, so there's not really anything right here for me to join. But that doesn't mean that you can't. You can give it a try. I've been thinking about trying some online writing forums. Maybe I can get into some of those. That might be helpful. So, but that is an option. But physically, you need to be pretty good at being alone. Number six, you need to be a little weird. We writers are very, very awkward in a lot of ways. And this is not me trying to make fun of anybody. It is just, we have these weird little quirks. And I have a video planned that I'm going to do on some of the quirks. And they may just be unique to me. I don't know. But we're going to do a video on it. Because we are weird individuals. We think in different ways than what I call normal people. Because normal people don't think the things we think. If they did, I think it would drive them crazy. Because we're constantly trying to figure all this stuff out. And I don't think normal people are like that. If they had our brains for a day, I honestly think a lot of people would go insane. Because they can't handle the brain of a writer. Okay? Have a futuristic mindset or a business mindset. Being a writer is a business. It is not something that you can just be all creative. Even if you want to go the traditional publishing route, you're not going to be able to just do the writing and call it done. You're going to have to do marketing. You're going to have to do book signings. You're going to have to do interviews. You're going to have to really push and promote yourself. Have that business mindset. That's the best way to see the future. That's the best way to project the future, is to have that business, and then you can grow from there. You just futuristically grow in a business mindset. And the better you get at the business, hopefully the better the writing gets, because the more you do it, the better you get, and therefore you're growing together. And that's always a plus. I always have a bottom, and this is what I call, have a worst book or worst movie that you've ever seen, and I've seen and read plenty, that I cannot believe were ever made it to the screen or to print. Have that bottom that you can compare yourself to, because you can always remember, okay, my book is better than that. Or if my book was a movie, it would be better than that. And I have watched and read so many books and movies that I cannot believe someone even picked up and sponsored to have made. It does not, it baffles me. It honestly does. So, number 9 is have a muse. Now, a lot of people want to think of a muse as like a little Tinkerbell sprinkling the fairy dust, and the magic comes out of your hands. My muse weighs 600 pounds and doesn't like to move. I have to go and drag him off the sofa and have him and make him get up and get going. You can have your muse however you want, but whenever I pictured the Tinkerbell, it never worked for me, because it was always so hard to get the words out. And I'm like, why isn't this fairy dust working? So no, my muse is a 600-pound man sitting on the sofa, and he doesn't want to get up. I have to make him get up. I have to show up and hope and pray that on certain days he actually gets up. It's a battle. So, number 10 is have a method or a process. Now, everyone has a writing process, I think, even if they're not aware of it. I think we all kind of have one, and I do have a video planned for mine, at least what I know of it so far, because I haven't published yet, so I haven't been through all the steps yet. But as of today, I know my process. So just find yours, find what you need, what you don't need. Like, do you need it to be quiet? Like me, I can write with the TV on, or I can write with it completely quiet. It doesn't matter. But I don't really like to write in public places, because I'm always afraid that someone's going to be reading my computer screen and think I'm a psychotic serial killer. Or see my search history, because that's not good. So that's the way that I operate, at least. And I like to set timers. Some people don't like the pressure. Me, I function better under pressure. So that timer helps me get going. So just find your method or your process and stick to it. And that is 10 ways on how to be a writer. Now, just because you don't have all these right now, that's fine. You can work on them. This isn't a do or die. If you do not have these qualities and you want to be a writer more than anything, you will get there. Don't worry about, oh, I'm not this, so I can't be that. That's not what I'm saying at all. These are just some ways that I think could help you along your way. But if you want to be a writer, even if every video I've ever watched doesn't apply to you, if you want to be a writer that bad, I always believe that passion will triumph over all. Because if you love it enough, you're going to win. So, that's all I got for you today. Get back with me next week for another Writing Wednesday, and I will see you guys later.